Good morning, gang. Happy Thursday. So, I want to talk about something here. You know, procrastination, and it's something that we're all guilty of. We've all talked about this. You know, if you watch Alaska Prepper, and God knows you should, okay, because Rudy knows his stuff, okay. One of the godfathers of prepping, I'd say. But Rudy has made a great point of saying over and over and over again, if you're prepping your food, doing whatever, you are hedging yourself against price hikes. Okay. And it's very true. I mean, Mrs. P and I were talking today, it's like, okay, we've been saying this for a year. The channel is just about a year old from the time I started making daily videos. I think it was October 8th I started last year. So we're right about there. But I've been saying that on the channel, and so is everybody else, buy your food, buy your food, buy your food, because it's only going to get more expensive. Okay. And people have a tendency to procrastinate. It's like, oh, I'll go this weekend. Oh, payday's next Friday, whatever would be. And I get it. Okay. But I want to give you a story. All right. And this is a story Mrs. P was telling me today. Now, y'all know she grew up in the Soviet Union / then Russia. Okay. And she was telling me a story today about 1997, 1998. Now, understand this, there's always been the difference of hard currency and soft currency, I guess, if you will. The dollar was always a hard currency, the EU, the euro, the yen. Those have always been your, if you will, hard currencies. I mean, go back to British pound, the German mark, everything like that. The ruble has never been a worldwide desired currency. Okay. And so she was telling me this story about 1997, 1998. And I want to tell you that it has not changed. I mean, granted, when I was there was 2015, but you could still go to an ATM machine and get out rubles or get out American dollars, okay, in a Russian ATM machine. At least you could in 2015. I haven't been back in 6 years, so I can't answer that. Okay, but Russians would save their rubles and buy dollars. It was a hedge because the volatility of currency. And so Mrs. P was telling me about this period back in 97, 98. She said she had saved 6,000 rubles. And she said she remembers it remembers the number specifically because 6,000 rubles was what it took to buy 1,000 American dollars. And she said she kept putting it off. Oh, I'll do it later. I'll do it later. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. I'll do it next week. Until she woke up one morning and the news said the currency's been devalued. It now costs 24,000 rubles to buy $1,000. Now, you think about that. Overnight, everything got 4 times more expensive because she still had in her hands 6,000 rubles. But now if she takes that, think about this. If she took the 2,000, I'll just make up the days of the week. If she took up the $6,000 to the bank on Tuesday, she would have got $1,000, $1,000 bills. She goes on Wednesday with that same $6,000 or 6,000 rubles she's got. She now gets $250. The price of everything in the store, basically has now gone up 4 times. Your dollar went down. The price of stuff in the store stays the same. Okay, a loaf of bread is $1 or whatever it would be. But now your ruble is, however you want to do it. So the price of bread in the store is still $1, but it's now 4 rubles instead of 1 ruble or whatever it would have been at, exchange rate at the time. I'm not going to try to do the math in my head right now. But you think about this. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday. If she would have gone to the store on Tuesday, or gone to the bank on Tuesday with 6,000 rubles and got $1,000 in cash, and then on Wednesday it turned around and that $1,000 in dollars, $1,000 now, she could have gone right back to the bank and traded it back for rubles and got 24,000 rubles. That would have been the best case scenario. Did it happen to a few people? Probably. There are probably people that got lucky enough that traded in their money just in time. There are a lot of people that didn't. Okay. Procrastination cost her a 75% loss in the value of her money. What happens here in the US if something like that happens? Now, granted, we're not trading our dollars for rubles or whatever would be, or dollars for euros, or, trading our dollars for silver and gold. Sure, we are. But imagine if you woke up tomorrow and it was on the news and said, the price of everything just went up 4 times because we just devalued the dollar. China's done it. They've devalued their currency. It happens, guys. It's not just, nations with not as strong of a currency. It could very, very easily happen here. It could happen in Australia. It could happen in Europe. It could happen in Canada. It could happen in Great Britain. It could happen anywhere, all right? The Weimar Republic never expected the Deutschmark to be worthless. The Venezuelans never expected the Bolivar to be worthless, but one day they woke up and it was, okay? Buying your food now, buying those tangible products that you can get now is definitely something you cannot procrastinate on. I know it's really, and I also get this, you got to save some cash, okay, just in case. But it's like, this will be my financial advisor coming out. You got to diversify. You can't have everything sitting in cash. You can't have everything in silver or gold. You can't have everything in food. You need to have some of each, okay? What you don't want to do is go, okay, I'm just going to stuff the mattress full of cash, Great. You may have a pile of cash, but who knows if that pile of cash is, again, like the Weimar Republic and you're wallpapering the walls with it or throwing it in the wood-burning stove to keep, start logs on fire because that's all it's worth. Don't procrastinate on getting some of the stuff, especially if it's the more expensive things. Yes, I'm going to bet everybody on this channel, if you're a prepper, you've got food put back. There's no doubt about that, okay? If you don't, then welcome to prepping. Obviously, it's your first day or first week doing it. But start focusing on those other things because they ain't getting cheaper. They're just going to get more expensive. Do you have gasoline put back? 25, 30, 50 gallons of gas. Well, what am I going to do with 50 gallons of gas? Well, I don't know. You got a generator? Yeah. You think you might need some in a car? Yeah. I don't know. Maybe that motorcycle you have? I don't know. A four-wheeler you got? Something like that. There's a lot of things that we don't have to talk about lawnmowers and hedge trimmers and stuff like that you got, chainsaws. Okay. There's use for gasoline. Store that, okay? It's an energy source. If everything shuts down, that's gone. You're going to need something like that. It won't last you forever, but you store it, okay? A lot of people ask about battery backup, solar generators, however you want to put them, or whatever it is. Yeah, you go like this when you look at paying for one, okay? But you buy the Blue Eddy, you buy the EcoFlow, you buy the Jackery, whatever it would be. And yeah, it sucks. $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 or whatever it is. But I'll tell you this, if you procrastinate and all of a sudden one day it's now $4,000, you're going to go, damn, I wish I could have bought it when it was $2,000, or I wish I would have bought it, because you could have. Wish I would have bought it when it was $2,000. We don't have time travel. We can't go back. Sure. I'd love to go back to 1998 and buy Amazon when it was $2 a share and be sitting on it right now. I think everybody would. Ain't possible, okay? But don't procrastinate. I know this is tough, okay? We're all pinching pennies and trying to make the best we can. But don't think to yourself, gee, I'll buy seeds next month. Or I'll buy gasoline next week. Or I'll top off my propane tank next month. because the price of none of it is going down, but the availability of it could disappear like that too. I'd much rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Guys, don't procrastinate. It could happen any time that we find out the dollar goes poof. Y'all saw the stories again. They keep coming out about this $1 trillion coin. Congress has already said it's not going to happen, but then again, we all trust Congress as far as we can throw it. They mint a $1 trillion coin. Inflation goes sky high instantly. Okay? Because they need to mint 30 of them to pay off the national debt. Okay? If they go and print $30 trillion in money, that's all they're doing. Okay? To pay off our debt, that just makes the value of the dollar go down. And if they did that, that would cut the value in half. So imagine that steak that you're bitching about now that costs $20 a pound. That's how it's $40 a pound when you wake up in the morning. Yeah, it's very, very, very possible that the exact situation that happened to Mrs. P in 1997, 1998 could happen in the United States. You'll wake up one morning and your jaw will hit the floor. Don't let it happen. That's why we prepare. Have a great Thursday. Pinball out.